What is generational wealth? Perhaps it's the first time you're hearing this word. It's basically that wealth is transmitted to your children and grandchildren, that is, to the entire family. Today, I'm going to show you 10 ways to create generational wealth, whether it be in the form of real estate assets, investments in the stock market, or financial education to carry forward in the future. With these options, you can provide wealth to an entire next generation. Stay tuned to see more. Number 10. Invest in education for your children. It's important to create generational wealth to provide future generations of your family with greater well-being, and that much is pretty clear. But the most important thing, before mentioning the following ways, is to keep in mind that these riches must be maintained as well as multiplied, and the only way for that to happen is to give your children an excellent university education. That way, they can enter the labor market in a job that gives them happiness and money, and in the same way, continue the chain from parents to children, etc. In addition to a university education, if you educate your children so that they don't have debts or get into financial problems, you'll be giving them the type of help that the following generations will appreciate. Number 9. Create multiple sources of income. In addition to investments, one of the most important things when it comes to making money, and for it to continue to come in over time, is to diversify your sources of income. Today, and even more so after the pandemic, young people have the ability to not only depend on a job to receive income, since with the world of the internet, they can perform multiple tasks that will leave money over time. Whether it's taking online courses, publishing books, starting a business startup, among many other things, it could generate a lot of income in the future, which the next generation can inherit if all those investments were successful. In this way, the following children will have the option of enjoying these riches or continue the family business with the company that worked, following the family legacy. Number 8. Invest in the stock market. Clearly, there are other forms of generational wealth that give a much more optimal result if done well. This way is to invest in the stock market, from which you can work, having two benefits, since it can give you money on the spot, as well as a possibility to think about the future of your family, generating benefits in the future. For people who have never participated in the stock market, this will surely sound complex, but with practice, everything is possible, and even more so that this task can be carried out online. The best place to start is with low-cost index funds. These funds can offer low fees and long-term growth, and if you're lucky, you can try more and more ambitious investments. Number 7. Invest in cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies today are on everyone's lips, but whether they're positive or negative, we won't talk about it here. What we will talk about is the great importance of researching these coins that today have a great value in the market. We've heard 1,000 times about someone who a decade ago had hundreds of bitcoins and today is a millionaire. Although it is a somewhat exaggerated example, many affirm that this is real. In this way, this gives you an example of how you can invest part of your money in these coins to give them to your children in the future, for the reason that perhaps in many years they would have a multiplied or tripled value. You have many of these cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Ripple, and many other varieties to choose from, and start investing. Number 6. Invest in real estate. Perhaps this is one of the many ways where the benefits of generating wealth can be more noticeable. The world of real estate investment may sound a bit threatening, but in the long run, it brings substantial benefits. You can always start small, investing your money in apartments and houses, and then put them up for rent and receive passive earnings that will be constant in the future. That income, added to your steady job, will be earnings that can be passed on to future generations in two ways. It'll provide a house for your children without the need for them to take out a mortgage to have their own house, and also the possibility that they have passive income by renting or selling those same properties. Number 5. Pay yourself first. In the same way that each month you receive your salary, you must divert that money to the services you consume as well as to rent. If you rent, you must also pay yourself. That's right. Try investing in that way. You can take out a debit card specifically for your savings. That way, you'll see investments and savings add up pretty quickly, since you can just do it the first few days of the month and then you forget about it. Paying yourself, you'll see that those incomes will multiply in the future. At first, it will sound like a loss of money, But in no time, you'll be gaining that money because it will be in an investment fund or in a savings account that pays interest. Number 4, write a will. While all of the above options are great contributors to generational wealth, writing a will is a more direct way to go. If we're talking about someone who worked all his life and also created a company or did well in his job, we're talking about someone who can leave a large amount of wealth and possessions to his family at the time he dies. This, in addition to the education that you will leave for your children, generates that they not only have wealth, but also know how to maintain it. Number 3, build a business. There's nothing like your father or mother being your boss. Of course, children will always want to follow their own path, but there are those who follow in the footsteps of their own father or mother, and that's why creating a business that can then be passed on to the next generation will be an incredible way to generate better wellness. Also, if it turns out to be a super successful company, that helps a lot more. Number 2, life insurance. Accidents tend to happen. Life is full of them, and that's why a premature death can occur at a time when you don't have money to provide for your family, and they'll be left in a financial situation that's not at all positive. That's why it's important to invest in a good life insurance policy right now so that they don't have any need. Even if you have money to leave them and have made a will, life insurance is never enough. Number 1, beneficiary names for your accounts. This is one of the steps that few people do, and when they die, family members have to go through a bureaucracy that takes up too much time, but the reality is that naming one or more beneficiaries for their accounts can only take a short while. If you were to die, the beneficiary would receive the funds with minimal effort. In fact, adding a beneficiary is enabled on most accounts. So there you have it, guys. These have been 10 ways to create generational wealth. I hope that this has been very helpful for you and your family. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel to see more similar videos, and do activate the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you whenever we put a new video up. We upload videos every week, so don't miss out on them, as you surely won't regret it.